trolling
Yes.
and cyberbullying. You think the distinction's very important, so just explain that to me.
Trolling is entertainment. Yes, it's basically winding someone up. Cyberbullying is completely different and is as illegal as any other type of bullying.
So you're saying what you do is okay because you're not terrorising someone, you're just insulting them, basically.
Correct. I'm there to insult their intelligence, and I'm there to upset the apple cart.
Just tell me some of the things that you've posted that have kind of caused outrage.
I posted a couple of tweets regarding the Hillsborough disaster. One of the tweets was of two fat people, and I said, "This is what crushed the 96."
And you thought it was funny, did you?
Yes, I did. I still do.
Yeah. And then that went on because you said something very offensive about the young child who was murdered in Liverpool, Jamie Bulger.
I didn't think it was offensive to mention his name.
But it wasn't his name that they were offended by, it's what you said about him, which is kind of so offensive to so many people that we couldn't remotely say it on TV. How do you justify causing so many people distress and hurt?
It isn't my responsibility what others find upsetting. If you don't like it, turn it off.
So you're putting the blame onto the people who are getting offended?
Yes, correct. I don't target anyone. I didn't send anyone an email. Yeah, they chose to read those particular...
Do you not care about the offence and the hurt you cause?
No, I don't. If I did, we would all end up being silent in case we offended somebody.
People who systematically troll, who keep on doing it to lots of people, are getting something out of it. A lot of that seems to be about getting attention and recognition and notoriety. And those people are doing it for different reasons. They're doing it because they believe it is their right to sabotage people who they don't agree with, and it is their right to be heard and that everyone should agree with them.
But you've got children, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Do they know what you post?
They're the ones receiving most of the death threats at the moment.
So you're hurting your own family?
No, they don't get hurt by it. They have learned... As
a result of your actions, your own children and your wife are receiving death threats, and you're okay with that?
Yes, absolutely. If that's the price for free speech, they are perfectly happy with that.
Are they?
Yes.
Does it give you pleasure?
Yes, it's a form of entertainment. I see it in its literal form. Trolling is running fishing lines through a shoal of fish and seeing what you can catch.
So do you see yourself as some kind of satirical terrorist or something?
A satirical terrorist suits me adequately, yes.
Except a satirist mocks the powerful and you mock the weak and the vulnerable. So doesn't that make you a kind of nasty bully?
No. I mock the hypocritical and the powerful. Ask
when you mocked the people at Hillsborough who died and their relatives, I mean, they're not the powerful.
No.
They're the dead and the vulnerable and the weak.
So am I no longer allowed to mention anyone that's dead on the internet? Is that the next logical step?
So you value your right to free speech more than you respect people's kind of feelings, basically?
Yes, definitely.
So you just don't mind if they get really upset by that kind of thing? You think they've got it coming?
I just don't care.
Have you ever felt sorry for anything you've written?
No.
Not even remotely?
Never.
Do you know, the most striking thing about that interview, I think, was the troll's complete lack of empathy for his victims. The fact that he chose not to care about the hurt and distress that they'd been put through. And you can dress it up with all sorts of libertarian and legal arguments like he tried to. But the fact is, for me, it just boils down to cruelty. He's cruel.
So I find it very telling that these types of people use freedom of speech as a defence for their abuse, because it seems to me that it's freedom of speech when it applies to them and not when it applies to the rest of the society. They need to think about the effect that this abuse of speech is having on the freedom of speech of the people towards whom it's directed. And that is a really negative and silencing effect. These people that they're fighting for are people who are having a negative impact on my freedom of speech, and I don't see anyone talking about that.
There may be different types of troll, but the fact that anyone can post deliberately offensive comments, either directly or indirectly, seems wrong to many people. Like Nicola from Brighton, who says she spent more than 2 years now trying to get justice but is still being trolled. Now, I've been digging a bit, and one of her tormentors uses a variety of profiles, all variations of the seemingly fake name Jamie Card. Several people have reported him, but he's so confident he won't be caught, he's even posted photos taunting the police. I want to try and track down the person behind the posts made by this Jamie Card, and so I've arranged to meet Bill Gardner, a local journalist from Brighton who's been following the story. How are you?
Hi, Joe.
Nice to meet you, and thank you very much for helping me with this.
No problem at all.
It's very interesting because the name Jamie Card rings a few bells with you, yeah?
It does. He's someone who I came across about a year ago.
I mean, how does he pick his victims? What does he do?
This is a guy who looks online for people that put themselves out there. People that have obvious vulnerabilities of some sort. They're people who have young children, people who might have disabilities, people from ethnic minorities, people who, when he targets them because of this perceived vulnerability, it'll hurt them, and he'll get a reaction.
Have you got kind of details of other victims? Because there are quite a few, aren't there?
There are lots. After I did the story on Nicola Brooks, I was contacted by a number of people, almost all young mothers. These are people who had obviously young families, who posted details of their families online. Here we've got a picture that was posted on a website. This guy, Jamie Card, he's
hijacked the picture.
He said something horrendous. He's taken the picture that's been shared on the website, he's posted it on other websites visited by young mothers. He also, according to the mum we spoke to, posted this picture on a number of pornography websites as well. This is the most recent case. She was trolled mercilessly by this guy. I think she's someone who, obviously is the most recent victim, is someone you should definitely speak to.
She's disgusting.
Moonface.
If all brides are beautiful, what the happened here?
When Cherie Webb commented on a photo online that she found offensive, she didn't realise that she, like many others, had fallen into a trap that would lead to a barrage of abuse. You've been hounded by this Jamie Card character, haven't you? I mean, what happened?
I went on Facebook. I noticed a picture of a dead cat. I commented and said, what are you doing? Within a few minutes, I saw a picture of my 2-year-old son being uploaded onto this site, saying Down syndrome, little boy, and please take him away to stop further abuse.
How did you feel about the fact that he was saying such vile things about your son and you?
I was really shocked. I cried about it. I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to stop him.
And what did you do when you'd kind of come to, if you like? Who did you phone?
I called the police, and all they told me was to report it to Facebook. They didn't give me an incident number, they didn't take my name, my address, anything.
And what did Facebook do?
Nothing. I've reported his profiles to Facebook, but they're still on there, and all I get back is, we see nothing wrong with this profile.
Do you worry that he might come for you? I mean, do you feel physically threatened?
When I'm out, I constantly look behind me, especially when I'm out with my 2-year-old, just in case this Jamie Card, since I don't know who he really is out there, looking for me and my 2-year-old.
We spoke to Facebook and they said they are sorry to hear about the harassment Nicola and Cherie have experienced, but said there'd always be a tiny number of malicious people who are intent on harming others online and offline. Facebook added that its real name culture makes it a safer environment and that it encouraged people to report things that made them feel uncomfortable to its highly trained team of safety experts who'll review each report and work hard to remove this minority from Facebook.
Do you know, talking to Cherie about online abuse, it makes you realise how pointless it is when people say, oh, it's just words, take no notice. Because the point is, once you've seen it, you can't take no notice. For someone like Cherie, it's real, it's frightening, and it really shakes her up.
I've been looking into this Jamie Card character, and from the IP address, which identifies the computer the abuse has been coming from, I think I've worked out who's behind it. I've written to him and I'm waiting for a response.
Facebook's being urged to do more to stamp out bullying on its social networking site.
Who killed herself after being bullied online, has attacked
a website where bullying messages were left for a teenager who went on to take her own life has promised
One
to
of the most
cooperate.
frightening aspects of online abuse, perhaps, given the age of many of those affected, is cyberbullying. This sort of abuse is most prevalent in children and the consequences can be tragic. More than a third of young people have been affected by cyber abuse, and reports show that bullying accounts for up to 44% of child suicides.
Traditionally, bullying stopped when you got home. You could go home, close the door, it would stop, nothing else would happen. But nowadays, with mobile phones, with the internet, it's there all the time. They go home, they go into their bedroom, and their phone bleeps another message. They turn on their computer to talk to their friends, and there's more abuse there. They don't know whether it's their friend, they don't know whether it's somebody else in school, they don't know whether it's somebody on the other side of the world. So who can they tell about it? It becomes a very scary place.
Beat Bullying work closely with schools to educate young people about staying safe online. They also train peer mentors who provide online support to victims of internet abuse.
We do worry that cyberbullying is going to continue growing as an issue. We have new technologies all the time, new sites all the time, and everything is changing. We still, as a society, are learning how to behave online, how to deal with this, and what rules and etiquette we need. But the internet is a fantastic resource. Technology is amazing, and we don't want to take that away. We want to be able to make sure that everybody can still have this, and our children for years to come can enjoy this and learn to use it in a safe way.
Educating the next generation will, it's hoped, help in the long term, but right now experts are calling for websites to moderate themselves more effectively.
You know, website users, site managers, as well as the service providers, have to do something, if they want to keep making the billions they've been making.
Twitter is featured in a number of cases of online abuse. We asked them what they were doing to tackle it, and they said, "We work very hard to protect people's experiences on Twitter, and that targeted abuse and direct threats of violence are against their rules. Users can block accounts and report tweets, and they say reports are reviewed by our support teams and violating accounts will be suspended." They add that they have rolled out the in-tweet report button to Android and web and are also adding additional staff to the teams that handle abuse reports. But they say that if someone feels they may be in danger, it's extremely important that they reach out to their local police too.
Now, as you know, over the past few weeks I've been trying to track down a troll who goes by the name of Jamie Card, and I've met some of his victims, chatted to the police, done a lot of digging, and now I'm going to meet one of his targets, Nicola, to update her on where I've got to.
We've approached the person who we believe to be Jamie Card, and he's denied that it's him. And the problem is, unless we actually catch him in the act with his fingers on the keyboard, or he confesses, which he hasn't, we can't really go any further.
It doesn't surprise me, because this is the way it's always been for the last 2 years. These people that are committing these crimes online, they are net savvy, they're computer savvy, they exploit the flaws in the social media networks, they know the law, they know their rights, and something needs to be changed.
So you feel a bit powerless?
Yeah, you do feel powerless. You feel totally abandoned, because people can see what's happening to you blatantly online, just from a person on the other side of a computer screen, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. No one can step in and stop it right there for you. It goes on and on and on.
For more information on tonight's programme, please visit our website at itv.com/tonight. In the meantime, though, good evening and thanks for watching.
Coming up next week.
Good evening and thanks for watching. So you guys get to hear a little bit about trolling tonight. I don't like to talk about it too much. We did a big-ass show about a month ago on it, and I basically said everything I had to say in that one and got some professional validation from the psychiatrist that Barco doesn't like. I don't know why. It's probably the Brooklyn accent. I don't know. He has very tricky things with Barco. He's very much like a cat. Very, very odd things bother him. So that's cool. So speaking into the Barco mic right now, is the K-Tap Truth on tap? Rick's show was on. God damn it, I checked the fucking schedule. I said I'm not going to step on anybody's toes tonight, and he wasn't on the schedule, but I'm still in the show, still sending you fuckers over to Rick's show.